People think betrayal starts with one big moment. It doesn't. It starts with small things, tiny things, things your brain notices before your heart catches up. 3 months earlier, Ethan had started saying strange things. "Can you cover dinner? Payroll got delayed. My banking app is acting weird. Money's a little tight right now." Small things, reasonable things, the kind of things people say when you're building a life together. We'd been engaged 11 months. Wedding planning was everywhere. Guest lists, flowers, venues, color palettes, honeymoon ideas.
If you love Reddit revenge stories, subscribe. I post one every single day.
Normal things, safe things. The kind of things that make you believe your future is exactly where it's supposed to be. Ethan was 32, financial analyst, responsible, reliable. The man who brought me soup when I got sick. The man who held my hand when my grandmother died. The man I trusted. Completely. My grandmother used to say something. Character isn't revealed when life is easy. It's revealed when life gets hard. I didn't understand what she meant. Not then. Tuesday night, 7:42 p.m. I walked into our bedroom, dropped my purse onto the chair, started taking off jewelry. Routine. Automatic. My eyes landed on the velvet box. Grandma's ring. Not my engagement ring. The diamond ring my grandmother left me. 3 generations old. Family history. The one thing I'd save first if the house caught fire. I picked up the box and immediately froze. It felt lighter. Not empty, just wrong. My stomach tightened. Slowly, I opened it. Empty. No. No. No! I checked the bathroom. Nightstand, jewelry tray, kitchen counter, bedroom floor. Nothing. My heartbeat climbed, fast. "Ethan?" "Yeah?" he called downstairs. "Can you come here?" Footsteps. Calm. Normal. Comfortable. He leaned against the doorway. "What happened?" "My grandmother's ring." "What about it?" "I can't find it." Silence. Tiny. Half a second. But enough. "Oh. Oh. Not. What? Not. Are you serious?" Just. Oh. My stomach dropped. I took it. "What?" "To get tightened." I stared at him. "What?" "The diamond felt loose." No, it didn't. I would have noticed. "I took it yesterday." Yesterday. Without asking. Without telling me. "What jeweler?" "Peterson Jewelers." Too fast. No hesitation. Like he'd already practiced saying it. "You should have told me." "Sorry." He smiled softly. "Didn't think it'd be a big deal." Not a big deal. My grandmother's ring. Not a big deal. Something shifted inside me. Not fear. Not anger. Awareness. Tiny. Quiet. But there. "It's okay," I said. And smiled. Because suddenly, I wasn't reacting. I was watching. That night, Ethan fell asleep in less than 10 minutes. I couldn't. Something felt wrong. Not the ring. Him. Lying beside me, breathing normally, sleeping peacefully. At 2:13 a.m., I got out of bed, walked downstairs. Needed water, needed air, needed something. The kitchen stayed dark, moonlight through the windows, cold tile beneath my feet. I opened the trash, looking for absolutely nothing, and found everything. A crumpled receipt, half hidden, almost buried. Auction processing fee. My pulse stopped. No. No, no, no. Slowly, I pulled it out. Auction house logo. Date. Seller information. My vision blurred. Item description. Diamond ring. Sale amount. $15,000. My hands started shaking. Seller authorization. Ethan Miller. 3 days ago. Not tightened. Not repaired. Sold. My knees hit the floor. Hard. No. 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 $15,000. For something that wasn't his. For something he knew mattered. My phone nearly slipped from my hand. I read it again and again. Maybe I'd misunderstood. Maybe... No. There it was. Clear. Final. Real. I heard movement upstairs. Footsteps. Coming down. Fast. Panic exploded through me. I shoved the receipt back, closed the trash, sat on the couch, grabbed my phone, pretended to scroll, pretended to breathe, pretended everything was normal. Ethan walked in, hair messy, sleepy eyes. "Couldn't sleep?" he asked. "No." "Me neither." Lie. He sat beside me. Warm. Familiar. Safe. Or what I thought was safe. "You okay?" he asked. "Yeah." "You seem weird." "I'm tired." He kissed my forehead. "I love you." I looked at him. Really looked. The man I planned to marry. The man I trusted. The man sleeping beside me every night. And for the first time, a thought entered my mind. Small. Quiet. Terrifying. Who are you? I didn't confront him. Not the next morning, not the next day, not even that weekend. Because anger makes people sloppy. Silence makes people comfortable. And comfortable people make mistakes. "Do you want oat milk or regular?" Ethan asked Saturday morning. "Regular." "Should we look at flowers Sunday?" he asked. "Sure." Normal. Everything stayed normal. Because suddenly, I wasn't his fiancé. I was watching him. Monday morning, he left at 8:11. Coffee, keys, quick kiss. "Love you." "Love you too." The garage door closed. I waited. 30 seconds. 1 minute. Then I moved. Office first. Desk drawer. Nothing. Closet shelf. Nothing. File cabinet. Nothing. I almost gave up. Then I noticed it. A small black notebook, hidden behind old tax folders. Ordinary. Forgettable. Exactly where someone hides something they don't want found. I opened it. Numbers, dates, amounts, loss, bet, win, loss, loss, loss. My stomach tightened. Sports betting. Thousands. Not hundreds. Thousands. $2,400. $1,900. $4,800. $3,100. Page after page. A total circled in red. $42,700. My legs nearly gave out. $42,000. Gone. Burned. Destroyed. No. 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 My phone buzzed. Ethan. Forgot my charger. You see it? The screen blurred. The same man texting me was the same man stealing from me. It's on your desk, I replied. Love you. My fingers tightened around my phone. Love. Funny word. I kept digging. Bank statements, credit cards, old bills. Then, something worse. A loan approval letter. Payday Advance Financial. Borrower, Ethan Miller. Co-signer, my name. I froze. No. No, no, no. I opened another folder. Another loan. Another. 3. My information. My address. My social security number. My signature. Except, it wasn't my signature. Not really. Close enough to fool a system, not close enough to fool me. My hands started shaking. This wasn't debt. This wasn't gambling. This was fraud. My phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Hello? Hi, may I speak with Mrs. Miller regarding an overdue balance? Mrs. Miller? We weren't even married. Wrong number. Ma'am, social ending in... My social. My blood turned cold. Who is this? Collections department. Collections. Plural. I hung up. The room suddenly felt smaller. Harder to breathe. How long? How long had this been happening? Weeks? Months? Years? I opened Ethan's laptop. Password. Denied. Again. Denied. Third try. Denied. I stared. Thinking. Thinking harder. Ethan always used important dates. My birthday. Denied. Our anniversary. Denied. Grandma's birthday. Access granted. My stomach dropped. No. 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 A folder sat on the desktop. Hidden. Not hidden enough. Financial recovery plan. I clicked it. Spreadsheets. Debt totals. Payment schedules. Amounts. Numbers. Too many numbers. Then, a section labeled Asset Liquidation. My pulse stopped. Item 1. Grandmother's diamond ring. Sold. My chest tightened. Item 2. Designer watch. Estimated value $2,200. Item 3. Grandmother's pearl necklace. Estimated value $4,000. Then, the line that broke something inside me. Target sale window. Honeymoon week. I stopped breathing. The honeymoon. Our honeymoon. He wasn't just planning to marry me. He was planning to rob me. I stared at the screen. Silent. Still. Cold. Then slowly, very slowly, I smiled. Because suddenly, I knew exactly what I was going to do. People think betrayal breaks you instantly. It doesn't. First, it changes everything quietly. Food loses taste. Music becomes noise. You sit across from someone you love and suddenly realize you don't know them at all. 3 days after finding the spreadsheet, Ethan sat across from me eating dinner, talking about honeymoon plans. "Italy would be nice," he said. "Or Greece." I nodded, smiled. Either sounds good. Either. Because suddenly, none of it felt real anymore. The next morning, I called a lawyer. Not for revenge, for protection. Identity fraud, forgery, financial abuse. Each word landed heavier than the last. "You need copies of everything," she said. "Receipts, statements, messages. Don't tell him yet. Not until you're protected." That afternoon, I rented a storage unit. 15 minutes away. Nothing dramatic. Nothing obvious. Slow, quiet. One box at a time. Grandma's photo albums, jewelry, important documents, passport, birth certificate, tax records, my grandmother's pearls, Mom's bracelet, everything he planned to sell. Every morning, one small box disappeared. Every afternoon, one more. Invisible, careful, patient. Friday night, Ethan opened a bottle of wine. "You've been quiet lately. Tired? Wedding stress?" "Something like that." He walked over, wrapped his arms around me. The same arms that forged my name. The same hands that sold Grandma's ring. "You know I'd never hurt you," he whispered. I nearly laughed, not because it was funny, because once, I would have believed him. Saturday morning, my phone rang. Private investigator. "We found something." My stomach tightened. "Okay?" "Casino activity." Silence. "Sports betting. Large withdrawals. Frequent." I closed my eyes. Of course. "Anything else?" I asked. Silence. Then, "There's another account." "What?" "Online gambling." "How bad?" Paper moved, typing. Then, "Estimated losses over $80,000. $80,000. Gone. Burned. Destroyed. Suddenly, everything made sense. The stress, the excuses, the money, the lies. But then, the investigator spoke again. "We found communication with an auction broker." My stomach dropped. Grandma's ring. "No," he said quietly. "More recent." My pulse slowed, dangerously slow. "He requested estimates for multiple items." "What items?" Paper moved. "Pearl necklace." My grandmother's pearls. "Luxury watch." My watch. "Gold bracelet." My mother's bracelet. My hand covered my mouth. No tears. Not anymore. only something colder. He attached dates, the investigator said. What dates? Silence. Then, your honeymoon. I hung up, walked into my closet, opened my safe. Everything still there. For now. For now. That night, Ethan handed me his phone. Can you order dinner? Trust. The irony almost destroyed me. As I opened the delivery app, a notification appeared. Broker. Need confirmation on additional items. I handed his phone back calmly. Pizza okay? Perfect, he smiled. Perfect. 3 weeks earlier, I would have married him without hesitation. Now, I was counting days, building evidence, protecting myself. Because if Ethan wanted to gamble, fine. But he was about to make the worst bet of his life. People think revenge starts with anger. Mine started with a spreadsheet. Tuesday, 8:07 a.m. Ethan kissed my forehead. Love you. Love you too. The door closed. I locked it. Waited. 30 seconds. 1 minute. Then I opened my laptop. Joint account balance, $31,482. I stared at the number. For months, I'd believed we were building something. A future, a house, trips, a wedding, security. Now, it felt like numbers. Just numbers. I called the bank. Hi, I said calmly. I need to separate my personal funds. Of course. No panic, no emotion. Facts. Only facts. Then, fraud department. Can you explain the loans connected to my name? Typing. Silence. More typing. Ma'am, these signatures don't appear consistent. I didn't sign them. A pause. Understood. Understood. Such a small word for something so massive. By noon, my savings sat safely inside a new account, protected, untouchable, mine. For the first time in weeks, I could breathe. A little, not much. Just enough. My lawyer called. Good, she said. Now we document everything. Receipts, statements, messages, screenshots, auction paperwork, loan information, evidence, evidence, evidence. Because truth matters, but proof matters more. Thursday, Ethan came home carrying flowers, white lilies, my favorite. A month ago, I would have melted. Now, I noticed something else. His wallet. Different credit card. Different account. More debt. More lies. You okay? He asked. Yeah. You seem distant. Wedding stress. That became the excuse. Easy. Safe. Believable. Saturday. I visited my storage unit. Opened the door slowly. My life sat inside neat plastic bins. Photo albums, jewelry, important papers, Grandma's pearls, Mom's bracelet. Everything he'd planned to take. Everything he'd failed to touch. For the first time, I smiled. Not because I felt better, because I felt ready. Sunday morning, his mother called. Sweetheart, Margaret said cheerfully, when are we doing the engagement dinner? Engagement dinner. I froze. Then suddenly, an idea. Cold, precise, perfect. Next Friday? I asked. Oh, wonderful! Family dinner. His parents, his brother, his sister. The people who thought Ethan could do no wrong. The people always saying, "You're lucky to have him." Lucky. I almost laughed. "We'll celebrate properly," Margaret said. "Oh," I answered quietly. "We definitely will." That night, Ethan sat beside me, scrolling his phone. Relaxed, comfortable, safe. He thought he'd won, thought I trusted him, thought I knew nothing. "You excited?" he asked. "For what?" "Our future." Future. Dangerous word. "Very," I whispered. Because technically, I wasn't lying. 3 days later, the private investigator called. "Final report is ready." My stomach tightened. "Okay." "Total debt estimate." Paper moved, typing. Then, $91,000. My vision blurred. 91,000. Casino activity, sports betting, loans, cash advances, collections. And then, one final note. Recovered broker communication, planned liquidation target, estimated honeymoon date, projected recovery amount, $22,000. 22,000. My belongings, my memories, reduced to inventory. 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 I sat perfectly still. Then slowly opened my phone, opened my contacts, found Margaret. Friday dinner sounds perfect. Because Ethan thought he was planning a wedding. He didn't realize I was planning an ending. People like Ethan don't expect consequences, not real ones, because lies work. Until suddenly, they don't. Monday morning, I made coffee. 2 cups, same as always. Cream for me, black for him. Routine, predictable, safe. Ethan walked into the kitchen, hair messy, phone in hand, scrolling. Always scrolling. "You okay?" he asked. "Fine." "You've been quiet." "Busy." He watched me, longer than usual, like something felt different. Good. Let him feel it. Just enough. Not enough to run. That afternoon, my lawyer called. "We have enough." Enough. Such a small word for a mountain of damage. "What happens now?" I asked. "Police report. Identity fraud. Forgery. We preserve evidence." Bank records, auction paperwork, screenshots, loan documents, casino activity, the spreadsheet. Everything. Because truth matters. But proof wins. Tuesday. I bought a dress. Dark blue, elegant, simple. Not for revenge. For closure. Wednesday. Margaret texted. Friday at 7. His sister Emily answered. "Can't wait." His brother Daniel added. "About time you two finally get married." I stared at the screen. None of them knew. Not Margaret, not Daniel, not Emily. No one. Thursday night. Ethan opened wine. "To us," he smiled. I lifted my glass. "To us." The words felt strange, heavy, almost poisonous. "You excited for tomorrow?" he asked. "Very." "Mom's probably going to cry." "I'm sure." He smiled. Comfortable, relaxed, safe. Like a man standing inside a house, already burning. My phone buzzed. Private investigator. Final invoice. One attachment. Video. I opened it. Casino footage. Timestamp. 3 weeks earlier. The same night Ethan told me, work made me stay late. I watched him walk toward blackjack tables, laughing, holding cash. Thousands. My stomach turned. Then, another video. Different date, different casino. Same smile, same lies. I closed the file. Ethan looked up. You okay? Yeah. You sure? Just tired. Tired. The safest lie. Friday morning. I woke before sunrise. 6:12 a.m. Ethan slept beside me. Peacefully. Like a man with nothing to fear. I studied his face. The face I'd memorized. Loved. Trusted. People think betrayal changes someone. It doesn't. That's the worst part. They still look like the person you loved. By noon, everything was ready. Storage unit, protected accounts, police report, lawyer, evidence, the auction receipt, the forged loans, the gambling records, and one final thing. Grandma's ring. I bought it back. $10,000 more than what he sold it for. The auction house couldn't tell me who bought it, but money talks. And apparently, so does desperation. The diamond sat inside my purse now. Safe. Home. Where it belonged. 6:34 p.m. I stood in front of the mirror. Dark blue dress, simple makeup, Grandma's ring. Back where it belonged. For a second, I almost cried. Not because of Ethan. Because Grandma would have hated this. She always said, character reveals itself when life gets hard. Turns out, life got hard. And Ethan revealed everything. You ready? He asked. Standing behind me, smiling. Handsome. Familiar. A stranger. I grabbed my purse. Ready. He reached for my hand. I let him. One last time. Because in less than an hour, everything was going to burn.
Margaret opened the door before we even knocked. There you are. She hugged Ethan first, then me. Oh, honey, you look beautiful. Thank you. The house smelled like garlic bread, roasted chicken, home. Safe. Or at least, what used to feel safe. Daniel stood near the kitchen island. Emily sat scrolling her phone.
Finally, Daniel laughed. Took you too long enough. Leave them alone, Margaret said. They're doing things right. Doing things right. The words nearly hurt. Dinner started normally. Too normally. Stories, laughter, wedding questions. Honeymoon decided yet? Emily asked. Not yet, Ethan said. Maybe Italy? Italy. Funny. I'd learned he planned to sell my belongings during that trip. Italy sounds romantic, Margaret smiled. Very romantic, I said quietly. Ethan reached for my hand. Instinct. Habit. Performance. I let him. One last show. Margaret smiled. I still remember when Ethan called after proposing. Oh no, Ethan laughed. Oh yes, Margaret smiled. He cried. Everyone laughed, even me. Strange how grief and laughter can sit together. You okay? Margaret asked. You seem quiet. Wedding stress. Always wedding stress. Just emotional, I said softly. Oh, sweetheart. Margaret smiled. It's normal. No. This wasn't normal. Not even close. Dinner plates emptied. Dessert arrived. Chocolate cake. Emily grabbed photos. Daniel poured coffee. The room felt warm, comfortable, happy. The kind of happiness that exists seconds before impact. My purse sat beside my chair. Heavy. Evidence. Truth. Consequences. Ethan leaned toward me. You okay? Perfect. You sure? Very. He smiled. Still comfortable. Still safe. Still believing the lie. Margaret stood. I want to make a toast. Everyone lifted their glasses. To Ethan and Ella. To love. To family. To forever. Glasses clinked. Smiles. Warmth. Future. My chest tightened. Not fear. Not sadness. The ending. I stood slowly. I said quietly. I have something too. Ethan smiled immediately. Of course he did. He thought he knew this story. He had no idea. I just want to thank everyone, I said. Margaret smiled. Daniel nodded. Emily leaned forward. And Ethan? Beside me. He squeezed my hand. Mistake. Big mistake. He's taught me something important. Silence. Small. Waiting. Trust matters. Ethan shifted slightly. Almost nothing. But I noticed. And honesty matters. His hand loosened. Slightly. Still smiling. Still pretending. I learned people can surprise you. Margaret smiled softly. Emily looked emotional. Daniel reached for coffee. I learned love means protecting people. Silence. Longer now. Ethan moved beside me. Almost nervous. Almost. And sometimes, I said quietly, the people closest to you hurt you the most. The room changed. Tiny. Almost invisible. But changed. I reached into my purse and pulled out the envelope. Heavy. Simple. Final. Ethan looked at it. Then at me. Confused. Good. Very good. Because for the first time, he wasn't ahead. He wasn't controlling the story. I placed the envelope carefully in front of him and let go. Nobody moved. Not immediately. The envelope sat between us. Simple. Ordinary. Heavy. Ethan stared at it, then at me. "What's this?" he asked. "Open it." A small laugh. Confused. Nervous. "Ella, open it." The room felt quieter now. Margaret looked between us. Daniel stopped drinking his coffee. Emily slowly lowered her phone. Ethan opened the envelope, still calm, still confident. Auction receipt, first page. His expression changed. Small, almost invisible. But I saw it. Seller authorization, Ethan Miller. Sale amount, $15,000. My grandmother's diamond ring. Sold. Color disappeared from his face. Ella. Second page. Loan documents. My name. Forged signatures. Identity fraud. Third page. Casino statements. Sports betting. Cash advances. Debt. Debt. More debt. Silence. Heavy silence. No one moved. No one breathed. Margaret reached slowly toward the papers. "Ethan?" He didn't answer. Daniel grabbed another page. Emily stared, confused, lost. "No," Margaret whispered. Quiet, barely above a whisper. "No." "Ella, I can explain." "No," I said calmly. "Not this time." "Ella, please. You sold my grandmother's ring." Silence. "You forged my name." "Ella, you plan to sell more." "No. Honeymoon week." Daniel stopped moving. Emily covered her mouth. Margaret stared at him. Not angry. Worse. Heartbroken. "I can explain," Ethan said. But suddenly, no one wanted explanations. Margaret picked up another page. Debt total, $91,372. Her hand started shaking. 91,000? No answer. "Ethan." Nothing. "Ethan." Silence. The kind that crushes a room. The kind that changes everything. "I raised you better than this," Margaret whispered. His eyes closed. Like hearing that hurt more than anything else. Maybe it did. Good. Very good. "Ella." "No." I reached into my purse. One last thing. One final piece. The velvet ring box. I placed it carefully beside the papers. Margaret froze. Daniel stared. Emily blinked. Confused. Slowly, Ethan opened it. Inside, my grandmother's ring. Back where it belonged. His breathing changed. Fast. Uneven. "Ella." I bought it back. Silence. Pure silence. "You sold it for $15,000. I looked at him. Really looked. "I paid 25. Margaret sat down slowly, like her knees couldn't hold her anymore. No one spoke. No one moved. No one needed to. Because truth, real truth, doesn't need volume. It speaks for itself. I picked up my purse, adjusted my coat, and looked at Ethan one last time. The man I almost married. The man I almost trusted forever. Then quietly, finally, I said the only thing left to say. We're done.
Nobody stopped me. Not at first. I walked toward the front door, slow, steady, controlled. My hand touched the handle. Ella. Ethan. Behind me. Closer now. Too close. Please. I closed my eyes. Not because I was weak. Because once, that voice could fix everything. Not anymore.
Please, let me explain.
I turned. Finally. Margaret sat frozen at the table. Daniel stared at the paperwork. Emily looked like she might cry. The room felt different now. Smaller. Heavier. Truth does that.
I panicked, Ethan said. I was going to fix it.
Fix it. Funny word.
You sold my grandmother's ring. I bought time. You stole from me. I was going to pay it back. You forged my name.
Silence.
I didn't know what to do. You could have told me. I was scared. So you robbed me. Ella, no.
His eyes looked different. Smaller. Not powerful. Not confident. Just desperate.
I love you.
There it was. The sentence. The one he thought still mattered. The one that would have broken me 6 weeks ago. Now, it sounded small. I think maybe you loved what I protected you from, I said quietly.
What?
Stability. Silence. Safety.
Ella.
Someone fixing things. Margaret slowly stood.
Ethan.
He didn't look at her. Good. Because disappointment from strangers hurts. Disappointment from people who love you destroys.
I didn't raise you like this, Margaret whispered.
No anger, just pain. Real pain. The kind that stays.
I made mistakes, Ethan said.
Daniel stood.
Mistakes?
He asked quietly.
Mistakes?
No one answered. Because there wasn't an answer. Not one good enough. Emily wiped tears away. When? She whispered. How long? Silence. Dangerous silence. Months. Years. Lies don't happen once. They grow, quietly, until suddenly, they become who someone is. My phone buzzed. Lawyer. One message. Police report filed. I stared at the screen, read it twice. Final, real, done. Ethan saw my face change.
What?
He asked. No answer.
Ella.
I slipped my phone into my purse.
What did you do?
I looked at him. Calm, cold, clear. What you should have expected. Fear. Real fear. For the first time all night, I saw it. Not fear of losing me. Fear of consequences. And somehow, that hurt worst of all. Margaret covered her mouth. Daniel looked away. Emily cried quietly. The family wasn't breaking. It was realizing. Realizing the person sitting beside them wasn't who they thought. I opened the door. Cold air rushed inside. Fresh, clean, free.
Ella, please. I turned one last time. Not angry, not broken. Done. You didn't lose me tonight, I said quietly. You lost me the moment you decided I wouldn't find out. And this time, I walked away. For good. Cold air hit my face. Sharp, clean, real. For the first time in weeks, I could breathe. Behind me, the front door opened. Fast. Ella! Footsteps. Ethan. Of course. Please. I kept walking. Gravel beneath my heels. Car keys already in my hand. Ella, please stop. I stopped. Not for him. For me. Because some endings deserve witnesses. I turned slowly. His face looked different, not polished, not controlled. Falling apart. Good. You called the police? He asked. You forged loans in my name. I was going to fix it. No. I panicked. No. I can pay it back. No. Each answer came easier, cleaner, stronger. His hands shook. I'd never seen that before. Not once. Funny how consequences reveal people. I love you. There it was again. That sentence, that weapon, that excuse. You keep saying that, I said quietly. Because it's true. No. Silence. Dangerous silence. You loved having someone believe you. Ella, you loved access. Please. You loved comfort. His breathing changed. Fast. Uneven. Truth hurts. Real truth hurts worse. I messed up. You built this. I made mistakes. No. I stepped closer. Not emotional. Not angry. Clear. You sold my grandmother's ring. Silence. You forged my name. Silence. You planned to steal more. Nothing. No defense. No explanation. Because some facts stand alone. The front door opened again. Margaret, Daniel, Emily. Standing quietly, watching. No one spoke. No one needed to. I can change, Ethan whispered. Maybe. Maybe not. Not my responsibility anymore. I hope you do, I said. For 1 second, I saw something break. Not pride, not control. Certainty. The certainty I'd stay. The certainty I'd forgive. The certainty I'd keep carrying things he refused to carry himself. Gone. Finally. You really called the police? He whispered. Yes. Fear. Real fear. Consequences finally arrived. Not dramatic, not loud. Quiet. Official. Permanent. I would have fixed it. No. I would have. No, Ethan. My voice softened. Not kindness. Truth. You would have kept going. Silence. Long. Heavy. Painful. Because he knew. And I knew. And suddenly, pretending became impossible. I opened my car door. Ella. I looked at him one last time. The man I loved. The man I almost married. The man I almost built my future around. Strange. How strangers can sleep beside you for years. "I'm sorry," he whispered. And for the first time, I believed him. Not enough, but enough to know too late still means late. I got inside, started the engine, closed the door. Warm air filled the car. Quiet. Stillness. Freedom. As I drove away, I looked once in the mirror. Ethan stood frozen, alone, small. Not because I ruined him, because eventually, truth arrives. And truth doesn't care how long you've been hiding. People think endings happen all at once. They don't. Real endings happen slowly. One consequence, one silence, one truth at a time. The first call came 12 minutes later. Ethan. Decline. 2 minutes later. Ethan. Decline. Decline. Again. Decline. Voicemails. Texts. "Please answer. We can fix this. Please." I blocked him. Phone, email, everything. Not to punish him, to protect myself. Saturday morning, I woke up in my apartment. Temporary, quiet, peaceful. No wedding planning, no lies, no pretending. My lawyer called. "Police report is active." My chest tightened, even though I knew. Identity fraud, forgery, financial crimes, words becoming consequences. "There's more," she said. "The fraud department found additional activity." "How much?" Silence. 6 separate accounts. 6. 6 lies. 6 decisions. My stomach dropped. "I didn't know," I whispered. "I know." No, she didn't, because knowing somehow made it worse. Sunday, Margaret called. I almost didn't answer. Almost. "Hello?" Silence. Breathing. Then quietly, "I'm sorry." My throat tightened. "I didn't know," she whispered. "I know. We didn't raise him like this." Pain. Real pain. Not mine. The family's. Collateral damage. The part betrayal never warns you about. "I loved you like a daughter," Margaret whispered. Love. Past tense. "I love you too." Present tense. Silence. Long silence. "Take care of yourself." "You too." Monday, coffee, laptop, work, normal. Or whatever normal becomes after your life explodes. Unknown number, ignored. Another, ignored. Voicemail, debt collections. Not mine, his. Consequences spread, fast. Tuesday, Emily texted. He moved out. Wednesday, Daniel texted. Dad isn't speaking to him. Thursday, Margaret texted. He's staying in a hotel. Hotel. Strange. How life finds irony. Friday, a message. New number. Ethan. One sentence. I'm getting help. I stared at it, longer than I expected. Part of me, a small part, wanted that, months ago, before everything broke. I didn't answer. Not because I hated him, because healing doesn't always need closure. Sometimes, closure is accepting who someone really was. 2 weeks later, my lawyer called again. Work situation changed. What happened? Debt collectors contacted his employer. Silence. He's on leave. I stared out my apartment window. Cars moving, people walking, life continuing, always continuing. Friday night, I opened Grandma's ring box, slowly, carefully. The diamond reflected light. Still here, permanent. Unlike promises, unlike trust, unlike people. I slipped it onto my finger. Not engagement, not marriage, not loss. Something else. Survival. And for the first time in a very long time, I smiled. Not because I won, because I was finally free.
6 months later. People think healing feels dramatic, like movies, like breakthroughs, like waking up one day and suddenly, you're okay. Real healing doesn't work like that. Real healing happens quietly. Random Tuesday mornings, songs that stop hurting, memories that stop controlling you. 6 months later. I barely recognized my life. The apartment felt like home now. The silence stopped feeling empty. It started feeling peaceful. I changed small things. New coffee mugs, different sheets, books Ethan said we didn't need. Funny. How freedom sometimes looks ordinary. Work got better. Sleep got better. I got better. Not completely, but enough. Grandma's ring stayed with me. Not every day, just when I needed reminding. Some things survive, even when people fail them. Emily checked in sometimes. Daniel, too. Margaret, too. Careful, gentle. No pressure, no guilt. Just kindness. Ethan's name slowly disappeared from conversations, the way storms disappear after enough time passes. You remember them, but you stop living inside them. Then, Thursday afternoon, my phone rang. Unknown number. Normally, I ignored those. Something made me answer. Hello? Silence. Then, Ella. My stomach tightened. Recognition. Ethan. His voice sounded different, quieter, smaller. I know I shouldn't call. No answer. I just wanted to say thank you. I froze. What? You saved me. No. Absolutely not. No, Ethan. Please let me say this. Silence. I lost everything. Silence. I deserved to. More silence. I got help. Gambling treatment, therapy, debt recovery, a small apartment, starting over. Sentence after sentence, pieces of a different life. I should have told you, he whispered. Yes. I know. No excuses now, no bargaining, just truth. Late, but truth. I sold things that weren't mine. I know. I destroyed things I couldn't replace. My throat tightened. Not because I missed him, because accountability sounds different than excuses. Quieter,
heavier, real.
I'll regret it forever.
Maybe, maybe not. Consequences don't disappear. They just settle somewhere else,
I don't expect forgiveness.
he whispered. Good. Because forgiveness isn't automatic. It's earned. Sometimes. Sometimes not.
I just wanted you to know.
Silence.
I know what I lost.
The strange thing about closure, sometimes it arrives after you've stopped needing it,
I hope you're okay.
he said quietly. I am. And for the first time, it wasn't a lie.
I'll let you go.
Ethan. Silence. One last silence.
I hope you stay better.
Not for me. For him. Because becoming better matters, even after damage.
Goodbye, Ella.
Goodbye. The line disconnected, and suddenly, the last unfinished piece closed. Saturday morning. Coffee, sunlight, quiet apartment, peace. Real peace. I opened Grandma's ring box, looked at the diamond, thought about survival, about trust, about consequences, about endings and beginnings. Then quietly, I smiled. Because 6 months ago, I lost the man I thought I would marry. But somewhere inside all that loss, I found myself again. 1 year later. I drove past our old neighborhood by accident, or maybe not by accident. Sometimes life pulls you toward places you think you've outgrown. The coffee shop was still there. The bookstore Ethan always said was overpriced. The little park where he proposed. Funny, how places stay the same, even when people don't. For a moment, I remembered everything. String lights, cold air, his hands shaking, mine too. The certainty. God. I had been so certain. People love saying, everything happens for a reason. I don't believe that. Some things happen because people lie. Some things happen because fear grows bigger than character. Some things happen because trust gets handed to the wrong person. Life isn't always a lesson. Sometimes it's just loss. But loss teaches anyway. I parked near the water, walked slowly, wind against my face, sunlight moving across the waves. Peace. The kind you don't notice arriving, until suddenly, it's there. My phone buzzed. Emily. One picture, nothing else. I opened it. Margaret, Daniel, Emily. A family barbecue. Smiling, living, healing. People survive things. Families, too. A second message arrived. He moved away. No city, no details. Just enough. I stared at the screen. No sadness, no anger, no relief. Just acceptance. Strange. How things that once controlled your life eventually become information. Nothing more. I slipped Grandma's ring onto my finger. The diamond caught sunlight instantly. Beautiful. Strong. Still here. Like her. Like me. For months, I thought Ethan took everything. Trust, time, security, the future. But standing there, watching sunlight dance across the water, I realized something. He didn't take everything. He didn't take my strength. He revealed it. He didn't take my future. He changed it. He didn't take my ability to trust. He taught me to trust differently. People underestimate survival. They think survival means staying standing. Sometimes, survival means walking away. Sometimes, it means starting over. Sometimes, it means understanding that loving someone doesn't mean they deserved access to your life. I opened my phone, scrolled through old photos, trips, birthdays, wedding plans, a life that almost happened. Then quietly, I deleted them. Not angrily, not dramatically, just gently, like putting something to rest. The wind shifted, cooler now, time moving, always moving. I looked down one last time. Grandma's diamond. Safe. Home. Mine. And finally, after everything, I understood. He took money, time, trust, but he didn't take me. And somehow, that made all the difference.